Right, Amy. Well, you just disclosed the new project we're working on, so we will have to put like an spoiler alert at the beginning of the video. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us here. Just to quickly introduce myself, my name is Leandro. I'm the founder and CEO of Aztrategy, video animated solutions. With us today, we have Ruben Wright, who is our Director of Operations, and Amy Graham, who is our guest today, and I will let her quickly introduce herself. Thank you, Amy, for being here with us.
Thank you. So I'm Amy Graham, and I'm the manager of strategic talent acquisition with Service New Brunswick.
Great, Amy. So we wanted to maybe have a quick conversation regarding the latest project that we had together and to get everybody on the same page. Basically, we created a animated video for a job position that you guys were looking to fill in the IT sector. And I would like to maybe start by asking you what motivated you to use animated videos in your recruitment activities.
Sure. So, I mean, it's definitely a couple of things motivated us on our end. Service New Brunswick's quite a large organization, but within the government sector here in New Brunswick. So we've been a little limited in how we've recruited in the past. The challenge we've run into is the same everyone else is. The labor pool is very shallow at the moment, and we have a lot of very specialized roles that we're often recruiting for. One thing that a lot of people don't know is we have over 700 IT positions within Service New Brunswick. And it's a very competitive field, obviously. So we needed a way to grab people's attention. This particular position, we had 4 to fill, and they're very specialized. So we thought this would be a really good way to get our message out, to give people an idea of what we do and how they could make an impact in these roles.
Cool, thanks, Amy. And did you notice any improvement in the engagement and application results versus other advertised job opportunities?
We did. Again, this one's so peculiar because we had 4 to fill. We kept it open for quite a long time. Normally, we just post something for a couple of weeks. We do our interviews, we move on with our life, and we find our candidate. But because we had 4, we knew it was going to be a longer kind of shelf life for this posting. So being able to repost our video and sharing it in a few different areas made it so that we definitely had more traffic on the site and more applications come in.
Good. And in your opinion, what was the benefits of integrating animated video in your job posting strategy versus a more traditional approach?
I think it's really grabbing people's attention. We, I think, have gotten used to not necessarily sitting down and reading a whole document. People's attention spans are quite short these days. We just kind of want to get the information and move on. So the video is something that we hadn't tried before. We haven't seen anyone else of our peers in government certainly try something like this before. So I think it gave us that competitive edge to get people's attention. And particularly in this case, because it was IT, I think it spoke to that pool of professionals to see an organization kind of, being creative and doing something different, using technology tools, I guess, to get our message across and find the right person.
Right, Amy. You touched a great point because, video is being the format leader in terms of how people are now consuming content, right? Following on that, how do you think video might help enhance your employer brand?
So there's a couple of things. I mean, we already, spoiler alert, are working on another video with your team. So that's very exciting for another area of our business. This one is going to be more around an entire division or an entire part of the work that we do. And it's an area that we have a really hard time recruiting for. So I'm looking forward to doing that as more of an explainer type video. Service New Brunswick is one of those organizations that everyone's heard of, but no one really knows what we do. And that is a constant challenge for us to recruit. We say it in the animated job ad we're talking about today, but they think of service centers, driver's licenses, and property taxes. That is a big part of what we do, but it's maybe, less than a third of our employees. The rest are doing other very important projects, across the province and impacting a lot of New Brunswickers' lives. But we just don't have that brand recognition for that type of work. So we need to do a lot of work for that. And this is one of those really key projects, I think, that's going to help us do that.
Right, Amy. Well, you just disclosed the new project we're working on, so we will have to put like a spoiler alert at the beginning of the video.
Exactly.
Amy, so was the investment worth the return in this project?
Absolutely. And I mean, I won't speak to dollars and cents in a specific way, but when I compare the cost to doing something like this to, other areas we've tried in the past, like radio ads and print ads, you almost can't compare the amount of, impact that a video or an animated job ad would have in comparison to, what's maybe more old-fashioned these days, like newspaper and radio. We saved money. We created something that we can use for, a long time. Portions of the video that was created for this specific ad, and I'm thinking, the beginning part, for example, we could reuse that for any of our IT positions and build on that, so we're not starting from scratch. The other thing I love about the animated version is that it's easy. Maybe not easy for you guys, but it's easy in comparison to make edits and reuse and kind of remold it for what we might need it in the future. So we're not re-recording live actors. We're not having to go around to all different locations around the province to get real live video. That is so costly. So being able to send some pictures and say, hey, can you recreate this in an animated format? That's really impactful, and it's easy for an organization like us that is all over the province and has dozens and dozens of locations. The animated format is so easy for us to do. And again, easy for me, maybe not easy for the folks creating it, but in comparison for us, it's a lot easier.
Right. No, it's not easy, but we really enjoy the process, to be honest, and that's why.
Maybe easy is the wrong word. Maybe efficient. Efficient's a better word.
Yeah, no, but you have made a great point. I mean, one of the advantages of animation compared to maybe other type of video is that you can, on one side, you can show whatever you want, right? You can get as creative as possible and still being able to deliver your message or communicate what the message you want to deliver to your audience. And on the other side, what you mentioned, like you can reutilize that and make the adjustments that you need to maybe update the information quickly without having to go through the whole process again, which is something that you will have to do with maybe a live action recording or stuff like that.
And that's a big advantage for us because SNB has changed so much and we continue to change. So, the original SNB had maybe 500-600 employees, and now we've grown to 2,500. We add divisions, we change titles, we change things around quite a bit. So to be able to, in the future, for example, if we created a video to explain all of SNB, knowing that if a division name changes, we could come back and say, hey, this division name changed, could we make an edit? That allows us to be a lot more comfortable to make these types of investments, to know that they don't have a timestamp on them or they're not going to be useless if something changes in the organization, we can edit.
All right, thanks, Amy. And then if I may ask, what was your experience working with the strategy team? I hope we managed to save you time and trouble,
Yeah. In fact, I think if I were to ask the opposite, you might say, oh my gosh, they were a pain. But I think it was really smooth for us because, one of the challenges I think that we had was around the translation of the video. New Brunswick's a bilingual province, so we have to be very careful with the English and French versions of everything that we do. And the fact that, we had to come back several times because of mistakes we made, to say, oh, please fix this for us. It's not quite right, and it's our fault. And the whole team was always so accommodating and never made us feel like, we were bothering them or that it was a problem. It was very smooth. I appreciate the amount of questions you ask right from the get-go to understand who we are and what we're trying to accomplish, while still not making us do it for you. Like, it feels like a very good marriage of, here's what we need, and you guys are the creative people that are going to make it happen, and we didn't have to feed you everything. You kind of took it and ran with it and gave us this wonderful product. So I think that's the perfect combination, really, for us to know that the message that we want is out there, but we don't have to come up with all the creative stuff, because that's what your team is good at. So it was good.
That's great to hear, and thank you for the feedback, Amy. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, Amy. Well, I think that's pretty much what we had to ask you today, Amy. I don't know if there's any final thoughts that you want to provide, or.
I don't think so. I think I got it all out.
Perfect. Well, that's great, Amy. And again, I want to thank you for taking the time to meet with us today, chat a little bit about the project and what's coming. And really, we're looking forward to keep working together in future projects. Thanks a lot, Amy.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Types of recruitment strategies.
Okay, I think we lost Amy.
Oh. You lost me?
Okay, that was a good rehearsal.
Did you lose me?
Amy, can you hear us?
Yeah. I can hear you.